Hey there, welcome to another video from Health Hire UK. My name's Ibrahim and I've helped over 1,000 people with their NHS applications. The hardest part of the NHS application by far is the NHS supporting information. It's a big text box, you're looking at it, most candidates look at it and just get worried. They don't know what to write. In this video, we're going to go over what the supporting information is, how to structure the supporting information, and we're going to use a real job as an example. This job is going to be a ST3 to 5 Obs and Gynae doctor role, and we're going to use this as an example of how to write a supporting information from a live job advert. So when you see the person specification, this is not just a random list of criteria. It's actually the trust's way or the hospital's way of saying this is our ideal candidate. Now, this is normally found in the job advert or sometimes is attached as a separate document. And there's two parts to this person specification. You've got the essential criteria. Now, you need to basically meet most of these criteria to have a chance of even getting invited to interview. And you've got the desirable criteria. These are nice to haves, and if there's sort of two equal candidates and one meets all the essential but not the desirable, and the second one meets the essential and the desirable, more likely than not, the one who meets the essential and desirable criteria will be the one that's given the job. But if you don't meet the desirable criteria, do apply for the job and don't be discouraged, because it's just that, it's a desirable criteria. It's a nice to have, not a must have.
If you're still watching, then you are going to love our free NHS Jobs Fast Track Guide. It's packed with the tips and secrets we've used for years to help candidates get hired. It's worth £49, but it's now free. Grab it below from the pinned comment.
Now, the goal is to show how you meet the essential criteria and to evidence as many of the desirable criteria as possible. And the supporting information is basically the first stage into proving how you meet these criteria. And the interview is the second stage. So the way you're going to write the supporting information, the first basic step is to print out or write down the list of criteria they've got in the person specification, and then write down how you meet each of these. So just get a piece of paper. Say, for example, you've got working well under pressure. You can then say, you can give some evidence of how you meet this criteria. Also, then we're going to look at the trust values on the website and maybe write a point on each of these trust values, which will be something like caring, compassion. There'll be some variation of putting the patient first and, improving always. Most trusts will have it on their own website. You can find it very simply, but maybe put one point, next to each of these criteria on how you meet the trust values. Once you've done this, we've got now some base information and we can start sort of structuring the supporting information together. The first is literally just an open text box and it says something like, just supporting information. That's all it'll say. If this is the situation, then this is probably the easiest one for you to write, because it means they're not too fussed about how you meet this, how you write the supporting information. You can sort of use your own structure, and we're going to tell you a typical structure now. So if this was a situation for a job that we're applying to, we would start with a paragraph rather, on why you want to apply for this trust. So you could go onto the trust website and find out a few pieces of information. Maybe they've got a lot of investment into a new building. Maybe they've recently won an award, or they've got a really good cardiology department, for example, if you're interested in cardiology. Whatever it is, just put something about why you want to apply for the trust. So that's your first line, why I want to apply for this trust. And the second is how I align with the values of the trust. So that's your first section of the supporting information. Once you've done that, you then talk about the essential criteria and how you meet it. You'll already have the paper from before, so you just need to structure this into a paragraph that, I've got this skill and I've, worked under this hospital, which gave me this skill, and, structure that into a paragraph, but only stick to the essential criteria. And the next paragraph end with, you're going to go over the desirable criteria. And once this is done, you're just going to end with a short summary. Just summarizing everything, and that you really want to work for this trust and you feel you are the right candidate. So this is the easiest method, what I think, when they've left it as an open text box. The second way that they could ask is from separate questions. And in this case, they'd normally ask 3 questions or 4 questions, and they would normally be titled, how do you meet the essential criteria? how do you meet the desirable criteria, and how do you meet, or why do you want to work for this trust? These are generally the type of questions that are asked. Again, I mean, the format is the same as before, but you just, even as an example, you could just write the whole format yourself like that, and then copy and paste certain chunks of it into the response box, or you could just answer the questions. But again, you've already written the person specification down, so all you need to do is actually just under the essential section, you put your essential criteria and how you meet them. Under the desirable criteria section, you do the same, and under the trust values, again, pull up the trust values and how you meet them, and that's going to be, again, a fairly simple way of doing it. And the third way that they could ask this is something called general competency questions. So in this format, it can be a little trickier. So what they'll do is they would write, they'll give you very specific questions related to the role, or related to the job in the instead of a supporting information, or alongside a supporting information, and you need to answer the question, but also you need to somehow link it to the person specification, and you need to mention some of the trust values to really sort of boost up your score and really show them that you are the right candidate for the job. Quick pause before we continue. I want to show you a brand new tool I built that will seriously make your NHS job search faster, easier, and way less stressful. Let me show you how you can apply for an NHS job and prepare for the interview in under 60 seconds. First, I complete my profile so the tool understands exactly who I am. Now let's apply to an NHS job together. I search for a role, choose this one, and copy the person specification and job description. I then paste this into the generator, and just like that, there it is. A fully tailored, personalized, role-specific supporting information section created automatically. Now I'm going to prep for the interview. I generate intelligent interview questions using the Smart Assistant, type in my answers, and instantly receive feedback on how to improve them. After that, I revise using flashcards. I simply paste in the job description, and the tool generates custom flashcards so I can start practicing straight away. Finally, I add the job to my tracker to keep everything organized. A process that normally takes hours, now done in minutes. If you want access, email info@healthhireuk.com to get started. So I found a job online, and this was at the University College London Hospital NHS Trust, and this was a ST3 to 5 OBS and Gynae role. So let's have a look at some of the essential criteria. We've got postgrad OBS and Gynae experience at registrar level, audit participation, and bedside teaching experience. And for the desirable criteria, we've got commitment to CPD or training, involvement in departmental activities, and attendances at conferences and courses. So what we're going to do first, so say I was applying for this job, this is the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to print this out or write all this down on a piece of paper. For each of these, I'm going to write one sentence. So it says, for example, we could write, I've had 2 years at registrar level. I've had OBS and Gynae experience in X hospital or Y hospital, managing, antenatal clinics and theatre lists. I'd do this for, in terms of audit, I could say, led induction at I led induction of labour audit, presented this at a regional meeting. So for whatever it is, just write down one sentence, one evidence-based sentence where you just simply say, what you've done and how it sort of evidences that criteria. Do that first. So for this particular job, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 criteria, 3 essential, 3 desirable. Some will have more, some will have less. This depends on how how well they've written the job advert. But whatever it is, you just write this. Then we're going to talk about the values. So we've done the essential criteria, we've done the desirable criteria. We now need to look at the values. Literally go onto the Trust website and I can find them. Let me literally read them out to you. It says safety, kindness, teamwork, and improving. So again, like we said, they're very similar to what we mentioned before. So this is very similar across trust, slightly different according to trust by trust. So now what we're going to do is for each of these values, we're just going to make sure for safety, just put a point there. For kindness, put a point there. You could say, you receive feedback from a patient, anything. Teamwork, you could say you worked in a very busy team. Improving, you could say something, some evidence-based based sentence on how you've showed that you're improving throughout your career. Now you've got all of this. This is, on a Word document or jotted down on a piece of paper. You're going to combine all of this and you're going to start to write the supporting information. We're going to show you on the screen now, actually. I'll put it all together. And we've started with the introduction. We've then moved into, so with the introduction, we've talked about why we want to work for the trust and some of their values. We've moved on to essential criteria, desirable criteria, and we've brought it together in a very sort of quick summary section. And that's literally it. That's the supporting information done very quickly, and we've met literally each and every one of them points, and it would be very unlikely at this point that we would not be invited to interview. So the supporting information, like we mentioned, it does worry a lot of people. We've talked today about the structure, about how to structure the supporting information, and the importance of evidencing every point. You've got to remember the people that are reviewing these applications are reviewing sometimes 10, 20, 30, 40 applications in a day. And they just want someone who's done all the work, who's had a look at the job advert, and who they can say this person meets the person specification and this person also meets the trust values, and we can invite them to interview to discuss everything else. And that's literally all it is from the perspective of someone who's reviewing these applications. If you've found this video useful, we would really appreciate if you could like this video, and please do consider subscribing to our channel. We do have a lot of videos similar to this. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.
We built Health Hire to make NHS applications so much easier, from writing your supporting information tailored for each role to practicing real interview questions with feedback. It's all here. Grab lifetime access for just £70 and start applying with confidence. Email us at info@healthhireuk.com.